Back, as you can see, nothing much. Again, I'm just mashing out recordings. I just checked on my upload for part 1 and part 2. Part 1 hasn't gone through for some reason. Part 2's in, though. So if you want to watch part 2 without watching part 1, that's fine. At the same time, you wouldn't actually be able to see part 4. But in last part, I just got some silver. Not bad. I didn't really do much in the last hour of playing. Kind of running around talking. That's fine. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about. Beforehand, before I last left, before I finished the last episode, I was talking about concepts of education. Probably not something you want me to talk about for another hour. Sweet painter. Actually probably does something like that. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, it probably isn't exactly. I've actually been thinking about doing kind of like I guess kind of like a podcast type show, or more like a vlog type show. That would be like, that's like among one of the things. I'm like, that was kind of like a rough, just off the cuff version. So whenever I start doing a vlog, my vlog, if you want to hear more stuff like that, now onwards to as I've stated, pretty much we haven't seen anything new yet. Like, we've seen a couple of the new models. Well, we have Raphael the Painter now. That's a big thing. We haven't seen any of the new ores. Not exactly sure why that is. Although, looking at that, I hear a heart. I think that's a heart at least. Sweet, mushroom. Apparently the mushrooms are used for dyes. Remember here on the side. We have these. Is that just a vanity item, or does it actually? No, it's just vanity. Yeah, we have you have your equipment, you have what it looks like, and then you have your dye, which I'm guessing probably just changes the color. I'm really missing that much. Sweet. Apparently this background is actually a background. Allows me to place things. Don't want to drown. Oh. Oh. Okay then. That's interesting. Anyway, as I was saying, actually going to be doing a lot more with my channel, at least this month. I start school month, obviously. I don't really want to give the date well, I just don't like giving personal information like that. Like, I know it's not that personal, because school pretty much, like, schools all start basically around the same time. No real point in giving out something like that. But yeah, like I said, my classes start later this month. I actually already have a couple of classes that are going already, but those are classes, like, I don't need to physically attend, which, weird. I'm not, like, new to college. Like, I've had a couple of, like, this is, like, my, third year, but I don't know, it's still just a little bit weird. Be like, hey, yeah, you're taking, don't worry, you don't have to show up. Just get good grades. Why am I not expected to show up? And, like, some of them, they basically be like, yeah, you just don't come. You'll be fine. Like, I can, at least the ones where it's like, you don't have to show up. Like, okay, I can kind of see that a little bit, but no, it's like, we're telling you don't come. That's just weird to me. Like, one of them is well, it's orientation, but, because I'm going to a new school here, I have to take orientation again. And they're just like, yeah, you don't gotta show up. It's like, okay, I can kind of see that one. I've taken orientation enough times. I don't like it. So, yeah, not taking that course again is a good thing. But then one of my other courses is frickin', like, psychology, what is it? Psychology 201? No, it's psychology 226. I have no clue what that number means. Because, like, 201, I get it's year 2, week 1. But apparently it's just psychology 226. That means. So I'm, like, sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, you don't gotta show up for this course. You just take a test at the beginning of the year, and then pretty much every class, like, every lecture, like, it's kind of like, hey, this is stuff that you should know if you didn't do good on the test. But if you did good on the test, just stay home. You don't... That's just weird to me. And, yeah, I know that's kind of average for a college, but... I don't know, when I was in school, like, I was the person who, I didn't go to school at all. I could find a way to... I still was a 4.0 student. And then when I went through and finished off, like when I was going through, I'm like, yeah, my last year, like I graduated early, but my last year was my junior year, and my junior year of high school, I went to school 10 days that year. But yeah, that was my junior year, and yeah. Like, of course it was, it wasn't like the first 10 days, actually. It was like near the end of the semester. I'd been skipping a lot of days. I didn't want to be there. One of my teachers actually, like, pissed me off on the first day of school. So I just kind of stopped coming. Like, because if you skip a single class, you actually, like, you lose credit for that class. So I'm just like, okay, I can't skip a single class. So I'm just gonna skip every class. So, like, I went up and talked to the counselor a bit, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. And when they basically told me I couldn't change courses, I decided I was going to skip, so a lot of days I skipped. There were a couple of days I was actually, like, legitimately skipping. Like, I think I ended up getting, like, pneumonia that year or something. Like, I got something that, like, took me out for a month getting out of school, but there was a lot of, like, yeah, I don't feel good, my tummy hurts, I'm skipping. Just that stupid, and that was mostly because one teacher off at the beginning of the year said something I disagreed with, and I guess that kind of goes into what I was talking about earlier, how we're basically conditioned thought that if somebody disagrees. This one was actually like wasn't a racist comment, but it was kind of a racist comment. I'm trying to think of how to say it. It was a racist comment, but it wasn't against race. It was a prejudice comment. And it just kind of pissed me off when he said it. Like, I tried to get a new teacher, and that didn't work, so then I skipped. But anyway, like I was saying, so, going on, like I was the, like I said, I'm the one, like, I had no problem skipping school. If I could find a way out, I was out. But at the same time, the whole being given permission not to show up is a little bit different than, like, looking for an excuse not to show up. It's kind of like working when you're told, yeah, you're scheduled to work this day, but you don't have to work this day. You're like, wait, am I, like, in trouble? Am I getting fired? It's like we're conditioned that, well, again, in the whole conditioning thing, like, we're basically conditioned that if something's to disrupt the norm from what we're taught, that means it's bad. Oh, sweet, that's actually an accessory, too. That's actually... Wait, can I jump off that? Sweet. That's actually, like, really sweet. But yeah, like I was saying, like, we're basic... Like, again, we're conditioned that way. It's like, hey, this is different from what I think it should be, so there's something wrong with it. College basically telling you it's okay to come in, or work telling you it's okay not to come in. Be like, what did you do wrong to be told not to come in? Not, hey, you're being rewarded by being given a day off. It's, oh my god, did I screw up? Like, maybe I'm not looking for him hard enough. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's... Got a bit of silver. Copper. Nothing lead or... Ooh. Ring of Regeneration. Basically, I guess it kind of works like the fireplace. It increases your... and it actually allows you to regenerate. Like, what it doesn't tell you is it allows you to regenerate in combat. Kind of a thing. Like, you don't naturally regenerate during that. Generating health during combat is a big deal. Jellyfish out of water. Try to dig down a little bit. Silver or... I'm actually loving these boots. Eating worms though. Those worms are dicks. Always consist that those worms. But anyway, actually, kind of like what I was saying earlier about the usefulness of the rope. Part of the usefulness of the rope has actually just been replaced by my boots, by my new spikes. Because, well, you're gonna take fall damage. Well, no, I can grab onto the wall with my feet. Or, like, yeah, or climbing up. Well, if I can get a wall, I can just climb and slide the wall. Now, the rope is a little bit more convenient, but it's kind of one of those, yeah, as you can see, like, it's not necessary. Like I said earlier, or I worked at a gas station. It was actually kind of like it was kind of the dick motto, but it was kind of our, like, employee motto, was convenience store is conveniently located, not conveniently priced. Because, like, a lot of people are like, oh my god, you can, like, you're selling a 2-liter pop bottle for $5. I can just go down to Walmart and pick up that same 2-liter of pop for $1. Be like, yeah, but if you were gonna go down to Walmart, you would have went down to Walmart. Instead, you put on a t-shirt and what might possibly be a pair of shorts, or might just be a really long pair of underwear, and came to a convenience store instead. Cut that out a little bit. And yeah, a lot of people just assume that, well, the word, like, I'm trying to think of how to say this. They don't understand what the word convenience means. Like, they assume that the word convenience means that we're supposed to convenient. Like, no, we're located conveniently. We're not conveniently priced. We're not conveniently assisting. Like, we're not gonna do something for you. Like, hey, you don't carry this product. Can you go pick it up at Walmart for it? Like, no, screw you. If it's in our brochure, we might order it for you, but that's not even a promise. We actually had one thing. It was a type of cigarette. I think they're called Salem's, maybe? Basically, they were, like, really long, like, they're called woman cigarettes, but it was a guy who smoked them, awkwardly enough. But basically, they were, like, the really long ones that you see on, like, TV with the, smoking handles that, like, Cruella de Vil would and stuff. Wow. I made a Little Dalmatians reference. Anyway, or that's 100 Dalmatians. What's Little? But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so it's not exactly like a big, like, they weren't exactly big sellers, because normally people wanted stuff like Marlboros or Camels or like Newports. They wanted that cool stuff. No, this is like one of those like 60-year-old cigarettes that your grandmother would wear. Or no, they weren't Salem. Sorry, Salem are kind of like the normal ones. Or like, but anyway, these are like what you would expect to see your grandmother smoke. Like if you go over to her house. So yeah. They weren't a big seller, but we ordered them, like, we ordered cases of them, because this one guy would buy cases of them. Like, every week he'd buy 2 cartons. And that's about 120, like, at the time it was about 120 bucks. I think it's more now. So yeah, we were willing to kind of make some adjustments for people, but in general, we weren't going to go out of our way to do something. Interesting. I could have just died there. That's a trap. There's a wire that leads up. These are fake rocks. And there was a boulder in there. Basically, the concept was the boulder would drop on me. Which, if you've ever had a boulder drop on you, it hurts. And there's a trap right there, too. A skeleton? If you can see that, there's actually a button right there. What I'm gonna do is, because I don't want to actually destroy the button, I don't like destroying buttons because later on in the game you get the ability to remove wire. And the wire is like what does those buttons. Oh, it is what does those buttons. But, yeah. So with that wire, and I can just put that there, and now, that's no problem. Later on, when I finally get the chance to get wire, I can come by and pick up the wire there. I usually don't use wire myself, but it is a really good sell item. It sells really cheap, and it's not that hard to come by. Just when you're looking for it, and, like, it's annoying to look. still a little bit disappointed that I'm not finding lead or anything like that. Also a little bit disappointed that I didn't think that it would be a good idea to from one of my other worlds. Now in a situation where I got a rope coil. Ah. I'm not gonna need that, so. Instead, let's say. One right here. That iron, I'm gonna jump over here. Can I place from here? Also, I don't know if this is has been self-explanatory or not, but look, with the new patch coming out, I'm actually going to also be restarting up the Let's Die. Although I'm going to be waiting a little while before I start doing my Let's Die because, plain and simple, I kind of want to play. And the redundant nature of the Let's Die, it makes it kind of hard to keep going. Pretty much, if you watched my series, you probably remember. If not, Let's Die is basically a series where I go through and play Terraria on hardcore mode. I die. That way, when I die, I'm done. I find it fun, and I don't know, there weren't a lot of people playing it, so I thought it'd be a nice little itch to try to wiggle into. Sadly, it didn't seem as popular as I was hoping it would be, but I guess I can't really complain too much about that. I want my videos to be popular because I kind of want to do this as a job, but I can't really found a heart. On accident, but found a heart. But yeah, like I was saying, I want to do this as a job, but because I find it fun, like the whole YouTube thing. It's interesting. I mean, I understand, like, I'm probably not going to ever be as big as Tobuscus or PewDiePie or Total Biscuit even. But, I don't know, maybe like a Dodger-size channel. So that's even asking for a lot, but let's see here. But, like, I mean, I'm not trying to be greedy or anything. Like, something I can do during, like, while I'm at school without getting in the way of studies for the most part would be great. Even if I could, and hopefully maybe getting this to be a channel afterward, after I'm done with school, and actually being able to do it. That is not how that sentence was supposed to come out. Actually being able to do stuff with it, like maybe actually getting signed as a partner. Well, like an actual partner, not like just a partnership. So maybe joining Polaris or Machinima or something like that. Like, those are, like, stuff that maybe drops, like, later on. Right now, it's more of a hobby. No matter how much you love a hobby, gotta know when to invest in it. And that's kind of one of the small problems with it is, well, since it is a hobby, I'm not like gonna be able to spend a lot of money to get into, hey, this is the brand new biggest video game. And like I've been into a lot of betas. I ended up getting a couple of beta keys. Like, some of them are general, like, hey, I was in the Diablo 2 beta. Well, yeah, but so was everyone else. And stuff like that. But like I've had a couple of pretentious betas. A couple of them have been NDA'd. I didn't get to beta League of Legends, but like I had a friend who betaed it, and he helped me get into he helped me get into the Dota 2 beta back when it was actually real beta and not early access. I was in, I'm trying to think of some of the others, Path of Exiles, back when it was closed. Like, I was lucky enough to get into a lot of betas back when they were closed because, well, I have a computer that has my processor is lower, or I use an APU instead of a GPU-C combo. So my processing, like my graphical processing power, is different than a lot of people's. So because of that, I was able to kind of fill a niche that they needed. And then after I've gotten it, I got into enough. I was able to get into betas under the terms of, hey, I've been in betas. Like, Dragon's Prophet, for example. I was able to get into that beta because, hey, I've been in betas before. So, luckily enough, actually, hey, I got a hook. I think that means I can make a grappling hook. Put a light down there. Better than the one I have, 1% movement speed or 4% melee. Can I do both? Actually, I got an ancient iron helmet. That's kind of cool. What's that look like? Like much. Sweet. Back. But like I was saying, yeah, like I'm gonna be trying to do stuff. I'm gonna be knocking out videos like I'm gonna be trying to knock out videos like crazy over the next month, like through the month of October. But and then after that, I'll take a look at what's going on and try to, because, well, plain and simple, like I'm gonna probably keep making videos, but if I'm going to be making a lot of videos, or if it's going to be a, hey, I did this really cool thing in League of Legends that I happened to record, or, hey, I did this really cool thing, like, well, hell, I did a video of Vampire the Bloodlines, a cheat that, like, there are a bunch of videos on it, but I made one. It's actually kind of like an old one, too. Like, there are people who put video about that up, like, almost 10 years ago. So I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna throw a video up. I'm not gonna monetize it or anything. I'm just throwing up a video about it because I think it's interesting. So over the next month, I'll be deciding whether or not my channel is going to be if I'm gonna be let's playing or if I'm just gonna be kind of throwing up stage throws. And I just got ran over by a boulder. That's why you dodge boulders. that's working. Checking on my part 1, it's actually going through this time. It's in processing. Yeah. For some reason, it just didn't upload last time. Gonna double check the size or when this one was started. It's been going for about 40 now, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. I'll be back in a few minutes.